Hi, my name is Jessica Zamora. Today I'll be walking you through my Project 4 IT interview with an IT personnel, either at your school district or school site. I went ahead and interviewed an IT personnel at the school I'm working at currently, which is Mayberry Street Elementary School, located in LAUSD School District. I went ahead and interviewed Mr. Quintanilla, and he walked me through what he believes are the advantages and disadvantages of tech, specifically tech in the classroom and on the school site. He viewed tech as a positive, having access to the outside world and building students' global perspective, and I agreed with him in that. He also saw that as a double-edged sword, as you'll see when I talk about the disadvantages, because with that World Wide Web access comes security issues that he becomes concerned with as an IT personnel. Nonetheless, he does view it as a positive, this access, this worldwide web access that students have, and the endless amounts of possibilities students can have with technology in the classroom. However, with that are disadvantages, as I alluded to. Mr. Quintanilla talked a lot about safety concerns, especially with students that know their way around technology, which is something we've seen already with the implementation of the one-to-one rollout programs across LAUSD. Our school was not one of those, but it does raise concerns as far as how clever are these students and what do they know, more than maybe the teachers know, and getting around those safety issues and firewalls. Cyberbullying is also a disadvantage of tech, and it's something that our school site has had to deal with. Unfortunately, they have not rolled out any type of digital citizenship or digital literacy, so our students really haven't been taught how to deal with this technology. It's just a regular part of their lives, and Mr. Quintanilla agrees that students should be made aware of issues such as cyberbullying, because it's happening even at our school site, and that's an elementary K through 6 site. And also he talked a lot about, again, with these resources, with these available resources, come security risks, even with firewalls and other types of protections set up. And finally, teachers must build students' digital literacy, again, building on that, having awareness of, what our students have access to, and teaching them that with that access comes responsibility. In my interview with Mr. Quintanilla, we also talked about his frustrations as far as, typical sites that are blocked. YouTube is one of those, although he talked of teachers having access to YouTube for an hour at a time. They have a certain login available to them. No access to available student content, such as he spoke on Brain Pop and those types of resources, because our school site hasn't bought or purchased into those kind of licensing websites. He also is frustrated because with all of this technology being thrown at us, there's a high learning curve with teachers and tech, yet he doesn't see the district implementing any type of training for these teachers, and that becomes a burden on him because he finds himself teaching teachers how to use this technology when that's not his job. And with technology, he finds it frustrating that the internet speed we have and the bandwidth that we do have, it's not enough to support the types of things he would like to see this school site achieve or be able to do within the next year. So I asked him, specifically at Mayberry and the school site that we work at, how would he measure success, specifically looking into the next year with SBAC testing? What were his thoughts on that? He thinks there's too much tech too quick, especially with SBAC testing coming into play. Again, going back to our teachers do not have the effective training to then walk into the classroom and use this type of technology as an effective tool, and he sees that as, it's deterring and holding us back rather than pushing us forward and into the future. He would like to see more access to tech for students. He mentioned having more access to computers in the classroom, and maybe even adding an additional computer lab to our school site, and he mentioned that with the practice test of the SBAC test we did about a month ago, he noticed even simple things like typing skills are something that our students need to practice because they are lacking in them, which was interesting to know. And then what would Mr. Quintanilla like to see at Mayberry, specifically with technology? I mentioned he would love it if another computer lab was added so that students can I liked his plan actually. We talked a little bit about this. He visualizes one computer lab being for kind of the skill sets in teaching kids how to do a Google presentation or a keynote presentation, how to type, and then they would then be able to apply their knowledge of those skills and actually construct a keynote presentation in the other computer lab and be able to type reports and do research. So I really liked his philosophy on that, and I think that would be an awesome opportunity for our school. He thinks that starting slow, maybe with teachers being introduced to the iPad first instead of doing a one-to-one rollout, because our school is kind of slow on the technology bandwagon. And finally, training, which I agree. As someone who is in a master's degree, I can't imagine how these teachers who have no knowledge of technology are feeling with this rollout of Common Core and of technology. And so we agreed that that is something we would like to see Mayberry do, especially within the next year. Whether that is something feasible or something that may actually happen, that's kind of the question that's left up to the district and our school site administration. But it was really interesting. I appreciated being able to interview him and really sit down and kind of pick his brain and see what his viewpoints are on this. Because I'm on the teacher side, but to see what an IT personnel thinks and sees and understands about technology was really interesting. So thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for listening.